If you had to do it all over again, are there any career decisions that you would change?
Um, that's very difficult to say because I did not choose violin playing as a career. I began to play at the age of 3.5, and where I was born, in a very small city in Poland, Helm, there were lots of children in the yard where my parents and I lived, and I looked at them with contempt because they played with dolls. And I said, "What is that? That's a joke. I am a violinist." So I do believe in reincarnation very strongly, and I believe that I was chosen to play the violin because I had no knowledge what it was. For me, the violin was a doll, or rather, much more than that. I felt the depth of it all, and it was a very, very profound experience for me to take the violin, which belonged to my older sister, and to start playing immediately some songs that my mother sang. Then, of course, when my parents realized that I had this gift, which was from God, probably has nothing to do with me. It's the way we look, is also nothing to do with us. Maybe it's in the genes, very difficult to say, but as I said before, I believe in reincarnation. So probably I knew that I was going to be a violinist. And then came the development. My father recognized that I was going to be a professional violinist at the age of 4 and 5. And it was a very natural process in the development. So I did not choose my career. I would say, and I really don't want to be arrogant, it chose me because I followed my destiny, which was probably set by other people. And I don't want to say engraved, but maybe it was. So it was a very natural consequence of what went on before. I did not choose my managers. With some, I had a very negative experience because even in my day as a youngster, some of them tried to exploit me. And my father immediately put a stop to that, and he was not very liked for it, because his main concern was to allow me to grow up as a normal human being, get education, and learn what life is all about, as well as the rest of education. So he didn't want me to play the 1,000 concerts, which was totally against the desire of my manager in London. So that was a bit of a conflict. Then, consequently, I grew up and I began to choose my own concerts, and then I had more to say where I was going to perform. I inherited, because in the beginning I was with an agency called Asconas Holt in London. Then I inherited the one who took charge of my career, or rather the successor of the original man who founded this agency called Harold Holt. His name was Ian Hunter, Sir Ian Hunter. And there was a wonderful relationship between us. He was a true English gentleman with the integrity that one would associate with a real gentleman. Moreover, he had an additional asset and quality. He was a musician. He studied conducting. That was his prime desire, to be a conductor. And he studied with a very well-known teacher and a professor of music at the time. There were two brothers. One was a conductor, one was a violinist, actually. There was Fritz Busch and Adolf Busch. So he studied with the conductor conducting, and it was my luck and a lot of other artists and soloists' luck that he understood music, and that helped immensely in my career. And he became a real friend of mine. Then, alas, towards, I would say about 5-6 years ago, when I was already a mature lady, he became very ill, and he had to relinquish his power of running the agency to somebody with whom I did not agree at all. And the end of it was that I left Asconas Holt. At that time it was Harold Holt when I first started my career. Then it became Asconas Holt because it merged with another association or company, I'm not sure which. And after having spent practically all of my childhood and my adolescence and my life with that office, I decided to leave. But fortunately, with the approval of Sir Ian Hunter, he encouraged me to actually make this decision. I called him up and I said, Ian, what do you recommend? Shall I stay or shall I leave? And his last words to me were, Ida, leave. That's what I did.